You simply want to understand values, but the usual grayscale exercises leave you confused the moment you face a real subject. Filling in boxes may teach you the scale from light to dark, but it doesn't teach you how to recognize those relationships in what you actually see. I'll show you one simple method to help you simplify what you see, organize light and dark, and apply the same principle to your own work. So take a piece of charcoal and a small sheet of paper and let's begin. Look closely at this image and simply start. Don't spend too much time thinking about where to start or how to do it correctly. Put the charcoal on the paper and respond to what you see. You don't need to understand the whole structure before you begin. Much of it will reveal itself while you are drawing. Even though there are almost no clear details, the image still reads as a rider moving through a landscape. Everything is suggested through a few tonal relationships. As you draw, notice where the image becomes denser and darker and where it opens into lighter areas. The rider is one of the darkest shapes, while the road and the landscape shift gradually through different values. Nothing is fully described, yet the scene remains readable and deeply atmospheric, almost if it were disappearing into fog or slowly emerging in the early morning. This drawing was made by Seurat. He does not build the image through precise outlines or details, but through a carefully balanced value structure. Keep looking and translate what you notice onto the paper. Put attention to where one tone changes into another, which darker areas connect, and where the paper remains open. You can also try squinting your eyes slightly. Many artists use a simple technique because it softens the details and makes the larger value groups easier to see. Don't try to make a correct copy. Use your hand to understand how the image works. When you are finished, step back for a moment and look at the drawing as a whole. Don't ask whether every part is correct. Ask whether the rider is still recognizable, whether the road creates distance, and whether the atmosphere remains. That is the real purpose of the value study. Not to create a perfect scale from white to black, but to understand how tonal relationships make an image readable. And if getting started is often the hardest part, you can just download my free drawing guide. You'll find the link in the description. It will help you to get into the flow even if you think you can't draw. Understanding the principles in Seurat's drawing is only the first step. Now choose your own motive and begin in the same way. Use different tones to build and organize your image. This is where you find out whether you have really understood what you just experienced. Don't hold too tightly to the exercise. If your drawing begins to move in another direction, follow it and pay attention to that. The method gives you a starting point, but it should never become a cage. Creativity often begins when something unexpected appears and you allow yourself to respond. When you are finished, step back and look at the image as a whole. Can you still recognize the motive without many details? Do the different tones create depth or atmosphere? This is how you know whether the value structure works. And if you want to see how we develop an artistic idea over an entire week in my Patreon community, watch this next video.